Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy Hangout. We do this every single Friday where we tap into a juicy question about our lives. We mix around our energies and we come together and we have a good time while we're doing it. So today we're doing a little bit of a different reading. Usually we do love readings or relationship readings, some kind of like social, emotional, relational kind of a topic. But I've been feeling like we should do career, and Alex has kept mentioning it. People have keep kind of bringing it up on Patreon. It hasn't like won a lot of the votes whenever we have it on there, but it just seems like something that's been kind of weighing in the air and on people's minds. And I'm always hesitant when I do a career reading because I know I've mentioned this before and I don't want to be like, that person, but we do live in a capitalist system that is driven by profit, and, you have to whittle down the margins of the money that you're spending, which means having employees and giving them raises and, all those things. And so we're within a certain system. And I never want people to feel like just because something might not be going as smoothly as you want in your career, that it's necessarily your fault. Like, we are individuals that are within a system. So I'm going to try to tap the energy. I'm going to try to understand the trajectory for your career, or what's going on, or just certain things that you should be aware of or try to capitalize on or take advantage of, or the skills that you can tap into. But all of this stuff is very much in flux, and I just wanted to mention that. So I have a feeling the love reading will squirm its way into this reading, perhaps, and maybe in the general reading that's something that's going to come out. So, all right. And I did just want to say that the wildfires, we live in very turbulent kind of wild times. And I just wanted to say, if anybody is going through that, I've been following that story this week. I know a lot of us have, and my hearts just go out to anybody that's there, that's had to evacuate, or you've lost your home and your entire life is uprooted or displaced or like up in the air now. I just wanted to mention that, like, out the gate, that we're all thinking about you guys. So, all right, so moving into the reading, we've got 3 piles as per usual. Well, actually, we do have an anchor card, so let's start there. And the anchor card is not a choice in the reading, but it is like a root energy that's coming through in all of the readings. And we have the sustainer, which I think is very prescient to a career reading because we work jobs to sustain ourselves, right? So we've got that sustainer energy coming through. I know a lot of you like to see that anchor energy when it comes out. And moving into the piles, these are the piles that we actually choose from. So we've got pile number 1, which is the stone, pile number 2, which is agape, and pile number 3, which is the thread. So I'll leave these up here for a second if you haven't already chosen your pile. And even if you have, now's a good time to just take a moment to do like a full breath meditation, or just to really tune in with yourself and the energies here. But if you just, I'm not going to walk you through my process this time for a change, but just however you like to do it, just let's all just take a moment here. And whenever you're ready, you can just open your eyes and bring yourself back to the reading, bring yourself back to the pile choices, and be drawn into whichever pile or piles you feel called to, because it could be more than one, keeping in mind that maybe the way in which you're drawn to the piles might be a clarifying message in and of itself. So wasn't it nice to just have that moment of silence? There's a little part of me that sort of panics, like just whenever we're like live like this, like, oh my gosh, I don't know why. It feels like an unspoken rule that like you're not supposed to have silence, but it feels so good, right? Like just when you do it. Anyways, okay, going into pile number 1. For those of you that chose pile number 1 here, the stone, I'm gonna get some cards here, some cards. All right, Spirit. All right, so Spirit, what is coming through here for pile? Ooh, we've got the Emperor And we got the Seven of Cups. Okay, I was kind of getting this energy already. So it could be that you are a boss and you have choices, but I think a lot of you, like, you're dealing with a boss or something here like that, and they are trying to make some kind of a choice. But I'm kind of getting the energy around this that you might need to be more in this stone energy, because I think you have like a dream inside of you, or you have some kind of good ideas. And I just get this sense that there might be somebody here that's like trying to copy your work. They look like frightened or confused. I'm almost getting like a student in class that's like, oh no, I don't understand the lesson. And they're like, trying to look over. So somebody here might be trying to like steal your idea or copy off of your work or present themselves similarly to how you present. So I feel like mum is the word, like around the workplace, around the office. Of course, like, be very pleasant, but it's okay to play like aloof or obtuse. If somebody's like, oh, well, what are you doing for something? Because I feel like this person may send you a message or try to kind of get you talking. And I'm not sure that it's necessarily a master plan, but I feel like this person is like somewhat confused or something here like that. And I'm seeing this scene from Friends where Phoebe is going to like a book club and she's been reading this book. She's so excited about it. And then Rachel's like, well, I want to come. Tell me about it. And so Rachel doesn't read the book. But then when they're sitting in the class, the teacher calls on Rachel and Rachel gives Phoebe's answer that Phoebe worked really hard on, like poured like her passionate heart out into. And Rachel says that. And then the teacher calls on Phoebe and she's like, I agree with Rachel, or like something like that. So I just get the sense that you're in a situation that's maybe competitive, or maybe there is an opportunity to boss up, or there will be in the future. And your boss, I think, is like attentive, or somebody here is attentive, or they're looking, or they're trying to come up with some strategy and for like the forward movement of their department or the project or something like that. And they are looking at their options. And somebody here, to me, the Seven of Cups is Venus and Scorpio energy. So I think somebody here might be trying to appear Venus, but they're very strategic kind of behind the scenes. And have you ever heard like the people at work are not your friends? Like, have you ever learned that lesson the hard way, or had somebody say like, you can be friendly, but the people at work are not your friends? I really feel like for this group, that is super important. And also it might be important not to listen to what other people are doing and like other people's ideas, because it might taint your own, because I'm just getting that this is a very self-driven group. And something might be slow moving with the stone, or also you might have your own idea that maybe you just have to get by while you're at work, but you're really pouring yourself into some kind of passion project or something. But it might be best to keep like mum's the word on that, because I don't know. I heard somebody say not too long ago, they were like, a lot of people think that it's really good to put on your resume, like your side projects or things like that. But it actually might not be, because somebody's like looking for someone to be totally dedicated to like that job in like the gross capitalist sense, of the word. But it also might be good not to listen to what other people are doing, because it might skew your perspective. Like, you might have a really good idea and it's different than everybody else's, but you might get in your head about it or feel some kind of way about it. But I do feel like you are a boss. You're the emperor. You know what you're doing. You have a plan forward. And somebody else here is like, they want change. They want transformation. They want to be seen as that Venus energy, being creative, being abundant, having like the ideas and the creativity, but they don't necessarily have it. And they're trying to kind of like scheme here in the background here. So, whoop. Yes. Oh my gosh, this energy. Somebody is like really, really watching you. So what I want to tell you about that, like kind of what's coming through, is if this person's watching you because they're kind of able to understand that you're confident and that you are this like stone, because the stone is like, it's weighty, it's traditional, it's heavy, it is of the earth like realm. Somebody here sees that you're going places. Like, if this person can see it, your boss can see it too. Okay. And I don't necessarily like, maybe they can't see it now, but I'm saying like it is there for them to be seen. So just make sure somebody wants to see you sad or upset because they took your idea, or like this is more strategy here with this Five of Cups, because this to me is Mars and Scorpio. So now that's competition, Venus and Mars. This is competition. And Venus and Mars, when they compete, Venus is a being energy. It's what it just naturally is. And the abundance just kind of comes off of that. Mars can be a parasite, and Mars is a warlike energy. It can be a mimic. It can be a soldier. And I feel like it's following the tapes of its fear, like that scorpionic energy, its shadow energy. That's like, well, I have to get to the top, but I don't have anything inherent, because they might be in the wrong field, or they don't take time to actually turn inward. So you're just being told to like, to block that out and to just kind of keep mum, because there's also kind of a destiny energy that's coming through, or like I'm hearing your guides or even your boss say like, just kind of, follow me. Like, look, we've got this triangle inside of the circle, which is like a very hierarchical energy. I feel like you're going up in life. It might be slow. And also I'm noticing, like, I don't know if you can see the fuzz. It almost looks like, when a TV screen kind of like fuzzes out like in the triangle, but it's just like scrambling the messages. So if somebody is trying to copy you, I feel like there might be something you can do to scramble your messages, to kind of throw them off scent or to make them do something stupid, because that's what they get. If they're trying to copy off someone else's work, be like, yeah, I think penguins are going to be really in this year. So everything that I'm doing, it's penguin themed, just full penguin, because people have underestimated penguins for so long. Like, they really are an animal of majesty and power, and just like blow that bullshit smoke like to that person, and or just you can be a little bit more strategic is what I'm getting. Like, at least around this person, you might not even know who this is, but I just feel like mum's the word. It's okay to be solitary. It's okay to sit alone at lunch. It's okay to like not have friends, because somebody here, look, she's got that quill and it looks like she's looking and writing. So it's like they're looking at you and then they're writing, they're taking notes. This person is a thief. Yeah, and the truth is going to come out about this person, or it will naturally come out, but you just need to like leave them alone. Tasha, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, okay, so anything else? Oh my gosh, all this sneaky energy. So there's this 7 of Swords energy. They could even be trying to like, I don't know, lock your office door if you like have one or something, lock up like your ideas, take your stuff home with you, because this could be somebody staying after hours to kind of like even just like snoop through your office, like just a cursory glance or something. This is like, ugh. But the Moon in Aquarius energy is what's coming through, and Moon in Aquarius for me, I think, is your energy where it's a very intelligent energy. It's a boundary pushing energy. It's a thinking outside the box energy. It's a networking energy. Aquarius loves their friends. They usually have a broad network, and I kind of feel like your network should be broad. It shouldn't be the people that are close to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I think those are the people that are very likely to steal from you and actually like have some kind of an impact, but still like mum is the word. Look, the truth is that this person is a betrayer. They're going to betray you. And look, there's a masculine running off here and a feminine, and Mars rules over males and Venus rules over females. So that's that Venus-Mars energy. I'm not necessarily getting that it is a male that's trying to steal from you. It could be, it could not be, but that's just that energy. And I feel like the truth will come out. Oh my gosh. Or this already happened in the past, because I'm hearing that song. It's like, when the roof caved in and the truth came out, I just didn't know what to do. I feel like if you just keep quiet or something here, like mum is the word. I just keep hearing that. Mum is the word. I feel like the truth is going to come out here. And I feel like this energy is reversing on this person. It's going to come out that they were strategic and that they were sneaky here in some way, because I don't think they can put up, like when it comes to creativity and their actual ideas, like they're not going to be able to, they're trying to get somebody to notice them. Okay, that just keeps coming out here. So what can you do? What else can you do besides gray rocking? Okay, this is even in like group settings and stuff. Like, don't say too much. Like, if you have to offer up like certain ideas, don't like, just be very careful. Just be very tactful. Hello. Okay, what else can you do here? Okay, it's okay for you to bite this person a little bit too with the Knight of, because they might even like kind of come in and out. This person might be annoying. They might be constantly interrupting of you. And I think it might be okay to just like say that, but this is like a blockage, an obstacle, and just move away. Like, you can just move away from this person. They're not your friend. It's okay for you to be like, you're always bothering me. Maybe don't say it like that, but just like, I'm really trying to get some work done here. And if they keep pushing the boundary, because they might, like, just, I'm really trying to get some work done here. And then like move, like actually get up and move for some of you. I feel like this person also may try to like fake a problem with a social matter. Like, I don't know, I'm having such a problem with my friends or something, because they're trying to build that social relationship. This is just like a betrayer. And this person understands that people that they work with are not their friends. Okay, so what else? What's pile number 1 really good at in their work that they can really lean into here? I just heard you got mad skills. Like, you actually have the skills and the tenacity and the vision. Like, you've got it all here. And I feel like you're in a good fit for yourself, and to where all somebody has to do is just become aware that you're really good at your job, kind of thing. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, and I also feel like you're kind of rock solid already. Like, there is some kind of stability and rootedness and groundedness in whatever it is that you are already doing. Okay. I love this energy. I kind of feel like you've got a good handle on things already, because you look very confident in your stance there, and I can't really tell anything from her face, and there's a regality to you, and just keep doing that. And the sun energy is like, yes. And some of you are bosses or something like that, or your boss is just able to watch that you like play nice with others or something here like that. But yeah, I kind of feel like steer the course. But somebody here is also maybe watching you with your, why is this person mugging on you? They want you left out in the cold. Maybe they feel like they want you like destitute here as well too. And maybe your friends also, like whoever you hang out with, like your little group there. But okay, so what skills are you good at? You have social skills too. So it's like you are really good in your job, but you also have basic social skills. And I think that's what this person is like coveting. Just the fact that you can, or it's an eloquence, it's a way you present. And I think this is like your appearance. Like you always look very neat or presentable, but also approachable. Like you have this really good blend of energy that this person really like can't have or like can't mix, because it's coming so like thoroughly, authentically from you. But I feel like it's the way that you present yourself as a person. And I think this is like in multiple occasions, you know, you present very well, but it's also the way you present your ideas. I think that you, like if you have to prepare for a presentation or something, like you do prepare and you know the right things to kind of say that you're trying to get across, sort of thing. And you have a good way of like bringing people in and making them feel included. So this could be like taking feedback from people and also not taking feedback from the wrong people, and just you're good socially, and that's in addition to your job skills. And so I just heard triple threat as well. So it's like you're good at your job skills, you're good at social skills, and there's something, I just heard maybe you're good with money, or you're good with managing your resources, something here like that. So you're kind of perfect for a leadership position. And I feel that that's in the cards for you. If you just keep like going on the path with the stone, it might go slowly, but I feel like this is the kind of thing where it goes slowly on purpose. So you can adjust. I kind of feel like you would have it no other way. Even if you might like a raise and you might like a promotion, like you also like to be competent and genuinely good at your job. And, so I feel like it might be this kind of slow growth process, but it is growth nonetheless. And you are like a rising star. You're rising to the top. But this rock energy is, I'm kind of seeing a dinosaur be birthed out of like a little egg. It's necessary so that you can kind of, once you get up here past where people might be trying to pull you down more, then it's just necessary. Yeah. Also, I think this person really wants to point the finger at you for something. I feel like this person wants to make you responsible for something, or make it look like you're responsible for something while taking credit for your work or your energy, your time, your ideas. They want to kind of like flip the script on you, but they also want to not be seen doing it. And I think something about you gray rocking is going to make this person stutter. Like they're going to have a decision to make. And I don't think that it's going to be able to convince people that you actually were because something here is like earmarked. That you did it or something, you know? If you keep mum, if you keep quiet, this person's going to kind of get stuck in their own trap, and they have a decision to make in terms of how they're going to progress, because they're trying to progress. They could be doing magic on you as well. So if you want to do some like cloaking, you might want to cloak your energy. It doesn't have to be like, you know, they might also be trying to lure you out of your comfort zone. Like they might try to get you away from the office or something like that. Again, it's that social kind of dynamic, but you're very socially intelligent and you can say no. I don't think you like this person, and I don't think you want to get to know them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with you just saying like, I like to keep my relationships professional or something like that. That's not rude. Like you can find a way of saying that where it's not rude. Also, like you don't really trust this person. And you can also just say that you're busy. Yeah. It also could be that somebody here is trying to partner up with you. It also, especially if you are in like a boss position or an elevated position, it could be that there's somebody that you work with in your office that wants to partner up with you in a social sense, like become your friend or become your lover. And that is their plan towards advancement. Just letting you know. Yes, or somebody wants to work with you and in order to look like this, and they want to be the dragon, or they want you to be the dragon that they are sitting on, but that's what they want. They want some kind of quick rise, like quick meteoric rise. And the thing is, you're really not about that. You're really not about that life. You really are about like one foot in front of the other. So I feel like just stick with the energy that you like. Stick with the people that you notice have the same drive or the same energy that you have. Because I feel like game recognizes game and like recognizes like. So I feel like just stick with those kind of people. Don't try to move too fast in anything. Trust yourself and trust your instincts here. I think you have to be a little bit more strategic. I think that's what you're learning how to do. Because I don't think it's natural for you to be withholding, but you're not in a safe environment, which is capitalism, but it's also the company that you work for. Okay, let's see. What could you bolster? Anything that you could bolster that would help you in your career? Okay, so the Two of Wands, this to me, it's like looking online. So this could be like exploring other companies or other ideas, or because I feel like you have reached some kind of perch. So again, remember it came out that you might not want to look at like other competitors, but this could be like just researching or studying your field or looking into like just in general. Yeah, just something online here. Maybe this is like a certificate program. Also, I feel like whoever's trying to copy you is like maybe even looking at your social media or something, because they're not just trying to copy your work ideas. I think they're trying to be you. I think they're trying to come across like you are. This is sad, but it's not your problem. Yeah. And so it maybe doing research here so that you can recognize the higher cup when you see it, like what's cutting edge or something here. What else could you potentially work on? Or like bolstering yourself. Just being more independent. And keeping people guessing, like not feeling, our brains really don't like cognitive dissonance. And so I think you, especially because you're so pro-social and you're so cooperative, it's like you want to make sense to people. You don't want people to feel shy or like weird around you, but I think you might need to let people be intimidated, let people think that you're not a bitch, okay? Like, look, she's nice. She's just kind of self-contained. You're just like very introverted, or you're doing your own thing. And I feel like it's just kind of this keep your competitors guessing kind of a thing. And there's something that's coming in and it's just going to catch them in their own trap with that like cat down there. I know it's like not focusing, but well, yeah, like it's just going to catch them off of their balance. And they also might piss somebody off or draw in. Or you just might say something to this person and they're going to know to back off, and then they're going to feel anxious, and I feel like they're going to receive some kind of message. Yeah, it's okay for you to just move away from this person and just be like, I'm really not interested. And just stand in your own strength. I feel like that's, for a lot of you, that's what you're working on. I think that you are a very pro-social person, but it's okay. I think you might want to pursue a career on your own, or like ideas on your own. Or just not needing anybody else, or not pulling anybody else into it, and learning how to be okay on your own, like an island unto yourself. And that's going to lead you to success. It's going to lead you to victory. I really feel like you don't need any help here, like any more help than what you already have. Like you're pretty self-sustaining. And this person's just looking to leech off of you anyway. Yeah, taking your time. This person's somebody here is looking for you to be their sanctuary, for you to be the key, or you to be the answer. And they kind of don't, when someone's in a desperate sort of way, they don't care who they hurt because they can only really think about themselves. And I feel like that's the energy that this person's in. They may well be a nice person in other periods of time, but I feel like they have lost their way and they don't understand the point of this time in their life. Because I'm kind of getting, for some of you, you've also gone through this time in your life where you were wandering around in the snow and you were in your own hermit energy, and you had to ask yourself, like, where should I go? What am I good at? What makes the most sense for me? And this person's not doing that. Instead, they're trying to be like very strategic, and they're trying to get into like what you've built for yourself. And if you want to give charity or something out of like the goodness of your heart, that's your decision to make, but it should come from your heart. And don't let anybody guilt you into that either, because that's I don't know, it's kind of like a controlling thing or something. And then, yeah, just focus on your creative activities, what you like. I feel like just taking something for the fun of it and not trying to make it your career, and not trying to like just for the love of it, just to balance out certain things in your life, and to maybe like just get to create or get those creative juices flowing, and spending time with the people that you love and having some casual time. And that's really it. But I feel like you already know your formula to success. There's somebody here looking at you. I think somebody might want a family with you or something, but it might be for the wrong reasons. Because they want an emperor, empress, kind of 10 of pentacles setup. And not everybody who wants that wants it for the wrong reasons. And somebody here could want it for the right reasons, but just be careful that somebody doesn't think that you are their career. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, anything else? Yeah, I feel like you might feel like things are stagnant, but they're not. There's something here that you just have to traverse this period. And then it's going to give way to some kind of new beginning. There is some karma going down. It feels like it might be for some people around you, though. All right. He's nice but unhappy with the company and many things. Yeah. Yeah. I think, okay, so we have this mother energy that came out and this hermit energy. And the hermit energy, I feel like, is you, where you're seeking solitude to focus intently on your inner life and to serve your personal creativity. I feel like being alone actually serves your creativity, which is why it keeps coming out. Like, don't listen to what other people are doing or whatever. Like, allow it to come from within. And some of you may have a mother wound here with smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. So see how this is a healing movement from like, oh, if you act in an independent way, if you have your own mind, if you have your own preferences, if it's like, get off me. I remember I grew up on a lake and my little niece used to be just like stuck to me like glue, and she was learning how to swim and she like had her little floaties on. She didn't wear a life jacket for the first time and she just clung to me and I didn't have a life jacket on. And I was like, trying to, swim over to the ladder because she just would not let go. She was just like so scared and she was so scared that she wasn't thinking that she was drowning me. And then if she drowned me, we were both going to go down. Like she wasn't thinking about that. And I feel like that's the kind of situation that you're in with this other person. And you could have been in a situation where it's like, oh, help your niece learn how to swim. And so you felt like guilted in it instead of being like, I have my own needs and those needs include oxygen and not having you cling to me. You have to, this is a group that has to learn how to take care of their own needs. And I think you do know that, but I think there's been some guilt for you being independent, saying, no, thank you, I don't want to. Like you could have just had your no disrespected, or you were not allowed to challenge like authority or something. So it's an important time period here for you to kind of be alone, I think. Look, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. And I feel like that's what you have. And that's where your creativity comes from, is you have some kind of unbridled appreciation for the creative process, for working together, for something that you do. You just have that. And you are working in tandem with the divine. That's where that creativity comes. You're in alignment and you figured out how to be in alignment. And this other person has to figure out how to be in their own alignment. But yeah, I don't really think there's much else I can say here. I think this, you've got the perfect package, and I think that you know it. You have something worth protecting, and I think that's what you're learning how to do, is just protecting, shielding, being a little more strategic, realizing that you don't owe everybody a conversation. You don't owe everybody transparency. You don't owe everybody an explanation. You don't, because it can be weaponized and used against you. And I feel like it's that guilt mechanism, which I think like whoever this is, it's like, oh, well, we're friends, or why don't we hang out together? And it's like, I'm busy. I have friends. I don't want to hang out like socially. Because you kind of know it is a very subtle power grab, and they might not even realize that they're doing it. It's just that when you say something, then it's like, oh, I can use this, kind of thing. I feel like this person's in some sort of desperate energy and they don't have a lot of self-awareness. They might not, I think for some of these people, they don't realize they're doing this. And then for others of these people, they know exactly what they're doing, kind of a thing. So yeah, this is just about gray rocking, protecting your ideas. You are going somewhere in life, in your career. I think you know that, because you have entrepreneurial energy. Even if you don't choose to be an entrepreneur, you have that. You have the skills work-wise. You have the skills, personal skills, hygiene. You have good social skills, and you have some kind of idea or something. And it feels like you have the tenacity and the vision and you have all of the things that you would need. And it's just a matter of moving steadily and slowly. Slow and steady wins the race with this group. This is the tortoise and the hare. And you're dealing with somebody that wants to be the hare and maybe did flit hither and thither and everywhere when you were kind of building yourself up in a certain way. And then they want to take the shortcut by kind of piggybacking on your energy or something. They might want to dazzle you like with their personality or with their friendship or with some kind of idea. But when this person that's trying to steal from you has an idea and when you have an idea, it's two very different energies, because this, it's just going to fizzle out. They'll have an idea, but then they don't think through, like, is this actually possible? Is this actually practical? What are the hangups and stuff? When you have an idea, you go through that internal process. You do a lot of flushing out, kind of like behind the scenes. And when you bring something to the table, it's like viable. You know what I mean? It has roots. This person doesn't have that, and they don't understand that they don't have that. They know that they kind of don't, that they pale in comparison compared to your energy, and that they don't get the results that you do. But this person lacks self-awareness. They don't slow down. They don't reflect. They don't ask themselves, you know, why. Instead, I think this person also is like very jealous, and it's like, oh, well, this person just they don't see that hermit inner process that you really do take time and you're running through scenarios in your mind. This person doesn't have that. And so they just kind of throw things out there, but they kind of burn and then they fizzle out. And then they get jealous or mad because they think it's like, oh, well, you just had the better idea randomly because I had this random idea. That's the way that theirs kind of works. That's not how you work. And this person has to understand to like bridge the gap and bridge the difference. And in order to do that, they can't be so quick to blame other people and take from other people. They have to actually consider that you might have gotten some kind of result that they didn't get because you're genuinely better at them than something, even if it's not something that they see, even if it's not something that they understand. Because if they saw it and if they understood it, they would have integrated it and they would be doing it. So they kind of are a bit egoic, like about that as well. And so I just feel like you need to protect your energy from people like this. And if you're building a company, I think you need to protect your company from people like this. They kind of burn really bright, but they kind of dud out because they're trying to just, it's kind of veneer energy or facade energy. And I think your boss may be even watching you. Like I'm seeing that. There's an emperor that's kind of watching you. And I think they're watching to see you carry a plan through to fruition. They are like you. So if there's a boss that's watching you, they are more like you. And they like that you're patient and that you move slow. And they like that they can tell in like the quality of your work or the way that you're working that you are a person that's paying attention to those details, and that you don't come to them to check your work with 1,000 like things that need revisions, like maybe other people in the office do. This person knows that like they can sense or tell that you do a lot on the back end, like within yourself, and that you need a lot less hand-holding than other people. And they know that it's because you've developed yourself further than these other people have. They don't think it's an accident. They don't think it's arbitrary, because I think this boss is kind of like that. But they're watching you. They've taken notice of you. They're interested in what you're doing, but they're watching to see how you carry this project or this idea or something all the way to the end. Or they might have noticed right away when you started working for the company that you were different and that you were kind of like earmarked for leadership or something, but they want you to work there for at least a year or a year and a half, or they want you to get past the fourth quarter of something because they know that that's when shit really kicks off. And if you do well, that, you know, it's something here like that. But you are headed somewhere, pile number one. You really are. But I think you already know that you are, whether it's with this company or another company, because you just have the stuff. You really do. You just have the stuff. So, okay. That was pile number one. All right. We're just going to have a little swig. Get a little refreshed, a little spritzed, a little rejuvenated with our seltzer, our bubbly bubblies. And we're going to spread some compassion around. All right. Oh, Brandiva just said, off subject, but my little great nephew, John Wesley White, was born last night. 4 pounds, 1 ounce, 17 inches long. I'm so very blessed. Congratulations to you and your family. All right. Do this. I'll just put the pile select up. If you're just now joining us, we just did the stone, which is pile number 1. And then we are doing agape now, which is pile number 2. Compassion, compassion. All right. We're moving on to pile number 2, the agape energy. Energy. All right. Oh, okay. So immediately for pile number 2, I'm getting like something here is a mystery, or it's like you can't see it or you can't understand it. You can't understand like something here where you're going. Let's see. All right, so Spirit, what's going on with pile number 2's career space? Okay, I feel like there is some kind of level up, but it does feel like it's going on internally. There could be an ending here. Some of you may have lost your job, but then you're in this temperance energy where you're tempering out. And it feels like, again, very internal, very spiritual group here. And I feel like you're receiving some kind of like downloads here. And you're learning something. You're gaining some kind of new perspective. Because I'm just kind of seeing somebody sat like off to the side and you're like listening to something here. You're trying to learn, maybe because you do want some kind of quick result in something. I do feel like somebody or something here might be getting ready to offer you something. You could be trying to manifest this. Some of you could be doing spell work. Where is this coming from? I'm getting a similar energy to pile number 1. Okay, because look what just came out. We have the 5 of Swords and we have the Devil card that just came out. And this is you, I feel like, in the center. Or I don't know if this is you. So it's kind of similar to pile number 1. I'm not going to go down into that. So where are you? Okay, you're the Queen of Pentacles. For some, there's like some kind of spell work here. There's a spiritual initiation going on at the same time, and you've really leveled up through whatever this process is. And somebody here is potentially seeing somebody around you doing something. What is going on with this 5 of Swords? They try to throw something away. Some ability to clear the air or an idea or some kind of... or an offer. They've been trying, okay. For some of you, there's spell work or there's evil eye on you. And they've been trying to throw away offers, but you've leveled up in this process. I know this is out there for me. Okay. And I'm going to get off of this track, but this is what I'm getting. Okay. So somebody here is like very jealous and they're in some devil energy, whatever it is. And Spirit is trying to show this person that something needs to change about their behaviors, because also I feel like nothing's coming up in their remit. Like something here is not growing. They need to actually like learn how to walk away, turn and walk away is what I'm hearing. They need to turn and walk away. Because you've actually leveled up, and believe it or not, this was some kind of blessing. And this is some kind of like weird transit. And I feel like you've been kept from this, like that something like this is going on in the background. And it's because somebody's trying to keep you bound to them, or maybe bound in a financial way, or dependent. That's what I'm getting. Somebody who's trying to keep you dependent, but you have really bossed up. You've leveled up through this process. I think you've actually released a dependency on the material world in some way. Like your goals that you're after are actually very spiritual, and you've tempered out your energies like within yourself. So this, whatever effect this was meant to have on you, I think it did work maybe for a while, like where it was turning away this Page of Wands energy, which to me, I'm getting like creativity or ideas or, offers or something like that. And you've just leveled up within yourself. They've actually strengthened you. And there's a karmic rebalancing that's going on here. There's been some kind of decision made. And it could even be that there's an authority that's been brought in that's actually seeing this King of Swords. So if you work in an office with these people and they were trying to keep people away from you or try to get nobody to listen to your ideas or something like that, then there is a King of Swords that is, I think, seeing this. And it could be because somebody here is like trying to, with the devil energy, bind them to this person. They're seeing the truth of this. And they're trying to get away from this person. They're trying to spend a lot of time alone. And they're like working on something. And I think they're feeling actually really bad. There's a lack energy to whoever was trying to do this to you. They've just manifested it in their own remit. And people are crazy. This is wild. This is coming through in a general reading that somebody would send like spell work at you to try to hold you back in a career sense. Like, how specific is that? People are so petty. They wanted to cause some kind of painful ending for you. And that was coming through kind of in pile number 1. That was more like trying to steal your ideas and copy you. This is more like somebody active sabotage. It feels like they're, or they wanted you to feel small, or they wanted you to not take risks, or something like that. What is this? Maybe this is an energy. This is somebody they wanted you in this like wounded warrior. I actually think you were this wounded warrior. Like you kept just like pushing and going. Like you really kept like charging through whatever this was. And you found yourself. You found some kind of like robustness or a skill, and you are receiving some kind of downloads. And for some of you, there's something here online where there's like a connectivity, or there's like two teams is what I'm seeing here, like connecting together, like in the middle, or like I'm seeing like this kind of energy. And so, that could be you connecting with like your spirit guides or something, and it's providing some kind of protection around you. It's linked to the past. This is a level up. Level up, level up, level up, level up. Because these people, they couldn't see another strength, or you developed another strength within you. Yes. Yes, there's something here that they couldn't see going on, that they were actually causing, and it was a level up energy within you that's bossing you up into an empress. So just hang on tight here, because you've been doing some kind of inner work. And you've been balancing out your energies. It's like these people throw energy at you and you actually are transmuting it. It's, Black Panther, like when somebody hits the suit, whatever one, he had that fancy suit that like when somebody would send him energy, he would absorb it and he would use it for his own purposes. Like that's what you've like somehow been doing, or like learning how to do. You've been transmitting this energy, and you've also been growing enormously spiritually. And I feel like that was kind of the purpose of this. But I also feel like the divine has been keeping you from understanding that that's what's going on, because I'm hearing like torment. They didn't want it to cause like any mental torment, but you've just naturally been kind of doing this. This is very Zen. This is very like Tai Chi. This is wild to me that this is coming out in a career reading, that somebody would send you energy like this. So what else do you want, pile number 2, to learn about their career space? You're the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so again, this group, like, there's stability here. There is confidence. I feel like you're gonna, like from heartbreak or betrayal is confidence. There's also somebody that could have been trying to get you in a contract. They wanted you to be dependent on them or their product or their assistance or something here like that. They were trying to bind and squeeze maybe every last drop out of you. And you have remained sovereign is what I'm getting. So I don't know if it's like you didn't take the bait. You didn't want to partner with this person. You didn't sign their contract. You didn't agree to their terms, whatever it was. But I feel like you're just going to open your eyes and you're going to be this Queen of Pentacles. And I think it's even going to surprise you how much like everything is grown around you. Because I feel like this is the energy of like doing without doing. Like everything gets done without doing. And you're just going to look around and you're going to feel like very confident. You're going to feel like very balanced. And all of a sudden everything's going to be growing or have already grown. And you're going to be like, what? Because I don't think that your career has necessarily been your focus. I think it's been on balance. I think it's been on well-being. I think it has been on your spirituality. And I think it's been on leveling up and possibly defense or protection. Because I think some of you, like at some point you did understand that you needed defense or protection. But I don't think it was like painful for you to realize that. I think that, yeah, and now there's karma and there's a balancing out, and these people are like waiting for you to be in this like energy, but actually it's going to be them. They need it. Okay. And for some of you have a divine connection to one of these people or some of these people, and they should have listened to their intuition when it comes to that. Because they wanted to have a fight with you. They wanted to have an argument with you in order to offer you love. Okay, so this person could be up and down. And they feel like, this person feels like the wounded warrior. So this is a person who's playing the victim whilst victimizing you. This is a persecutor that cannot see themselves as a persecutor, but that's what they are. And now you are in sovereign territory, and now this person is feeling shame. But like, how can you not feel shame behaving in such a manner before this? Like, this is where I'm saying something's not all together, maybe. Because they're intentionally trying to sabotage you in a career space, no less, which that could have rendered you homeless. That could have rendered you destitute. But they all they could see is like, oh yeah, like you're going to be dependent on me. I think you would rather eat shit and die than be dependent on this person. let me not be dramatic, but like this person doesn't seem to like know you. And also like, who does that? This is extremely cruel. And all of this is like, they're emotionally defensive. And I just heard emotionally stunted. And it's because they didn't want something to change about their home environment. Maybe this is a family member for some of you. They wanted your dependence. And now this person is alone. or they will be alone. And I think they're having to level up and they're having to face their manipulative ways and their past. This person was friendly with you in the past. You guys used to be friends or you used to be close. This could have been like a child. There used to be innocence between the two of you and no more. This person has ruined it. They're sorry. This person is being confronted with the enormity of what they've done. You don't do this to somebody. This is ridiculous. And they thought that they were like never going to get caught. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't know who this person is. Although I sense that you probably, they are feeling shame. They could have looked at you as like the Queen of Wands. They wanted you to feel like burdened or responsible so that they could offer you their wand, basically. Some kind of passionate fire in the beginning. They wanted to be like the obvious choice for you to come running back to in your dependence. I just don't think it worked out that way because this person miscalculated. And what they miscalculated was just knowing the most basic thing about you, which is that you're not a scrub. You're not scared. You don't kowtow to the face of literal evil, because that's what this is. This is not love. I think this person feels like they love you. Where is it? Where is it? I'm not seeing a scrap of love here. Not a single scrap of it. This person may have an emotional feeling towards you, but it's a selfish one. And love is never selfish. So they have a desire to keep you bound and trapped. If this person loves you, love liberates. So this person is delusional in their mind about who they are in your story. They thought that they were the higher cup. They wanted you to think that they were the higher cup. They wanted to come this is victim, rescue, or persecutor. They were trying to put that energy in your space. That you needed some kind of rescuing and that would change the way that you were thinking about them. So for some of you, I mean, I'm getting the energy of spell work. But if this person isn't in spell work, then I feel like they've just had such negative thoughts towards you. I'm getting that it's spell work though. Believe it or not, I'm getting that it's spell work. Setting of intentions or prayers. This is not what prayers are for. Just as a reminder, this isn't how you do it. You're doing it wrong. Oh my gosh. And God only knows what you're praying to, just so you know, because what would answer a prayer like this?
Hello, I really want pile number 2 to be destitute and completely dependent on me. Thanks.
Like, who do you think's going to answer that? That guy? That guy. Okay, so you need to calm it down. This is what I'm saying, like, not just because it looks spiritual, it looks like prayer, it looks like ritual. It doesn't mean that it is. Okay? Like, what is this? This isn't spiritual. This isn't of God. Somebody needs to repent and undo this. I'm literally telling you now that you're colluding with an energy that you don't know. If this is you, stop. Because you're feeding some kind of energy. And it's not God. It's not of like the light. And it's changed your fortune here. You were trying to change someone else's fortune. That's literally what I'm getting. You were trying to play God. That's not looked on kindly. This is why you have to have wisdom to embark on the spiritual journey. Because this ain't it. Look at how much trouble you can get yourself in. And I feel like this person has like a lot coming their way. They wanted to offer you something to like go to a reunion or a party or something like that. To where you would see that they're the empress and that they're just so benevolent and so giving. Does this sound benevolent or giving to you, what I've just described? What's gone on behind the scenes here? This kind of reminds me of the energy that was coming through in pile number 1, where it was like Venus on the surface, but then a whole lot of fuckery and scrambling and strategy behind the scenes. This person has like foulness beneath them that they need to address. They were trying to fuck you up, and they were trying to fuck you up in terms of money. So this person may have done this to you. They could have tried to, I'm hearing like a bad deal or something, but you're out of this energy. Okay. So you have triumphed in this situation. I think without even meaning to. I'm kind of getting like, I don't know, you sneezed and then like this person just flew away. You were just like, achoo. And they were like, you didn't even mean to. You know what I'm saying? You've triumphed somehow in this situation. This has been a spiritual initiation. And spirit is trying to teach you something through this, like the way that spirituality and the material world kind of go together to level us up. Because I do think that you dealt with something that was extremely unjust, extremely unkind, and it wanted to call itself love. And so this is why if you moved away from this person, it's because they don't understand love. They're just selfish. And they were just trying to cling on to your energy. And I'm hearing that these people, and if you're listening to this right now, here's the olive branch, okay? You need to undo this. That's the nice way out. Something is coming, okay? And it's big. And it's whatever you tried. You think it's just, you think it's okay, you think it's fair to do that to somebody else, to mess with their destiny, their sovereignty, what they want, their health, their mental health, because they moved away from you for a reason. And I have to tell you, they were 100% in the right to do so. If this is you, they couldn't be more right to move away from a person like this. And you need to face that. If that's you, you need to realize that this is not a way to be in the world. And you didn't calculate all of the unintended consequences of what it would have done to this person's mental health, their confidence. You didn't know all the things that you were breaking in this person. You didn't succeed. But if you had succeeded in what you did, it was so evil. Like, you would have broken things that are like irreparable in this person. God wants you to know that. This isn't love. This isn't a connection that you are worthy of yet, if you would like it. And it is completely and entirely up to this person. I'm just channeling this. I'm delivering this message. From this moment forward, it is entirely held up by the highest powers that it is completely up to this person, whether they would like to involve with you or never again. I feel like that is not a common thing. Like, they really like for things to work out, but because of the severity and the asshattery of what was done here, this person 100% will decide the future of your connection. And that will be backed up by the universe, because what the actual literal hell has gone on here. Yeah, I feel like that's the energy that you're in. Good. This means you're welcome back to reality. Welcome to what's the truth of what's going on here. Okay, Uranus and Scorpio. So for some of you, I'm just like alerting you. Uranus is like a flash of lightning to me sometimes, like choom, and it's like lighting up this Scorpio energy. And I feel like you were just alerted to the fact, or like you've been alerted in some way that something's been going on behind the scenes here. And it was leveled at you to like put you down in this way. You are fine. But I think for some of these people, because I am getting the sense that some of them are here. And because people like this are delusional. They think this is love. They think this is spirituality. They probably think they're this person's divine counterpart or something. And this is why I don't like some of the spiritual like people out there, because they won't check it when they see it. And that's why I feel like for my own sanity and my own value system and my own goodness, like, you have to wake up from this delusion. You're not the good guy here. This isn't spiritual. This is not divine. You have to stop being karmic. You are throwing pain at people and calling it love. And that's why it's uncomfortable for people to be around you. But you need to reacquaint yourself with reality. This is not a way to be. And I feel like that's me throwing this Uranus energy at this Scorpio energy. You have to do the shadow work. You have some kind of control issue here. You have some kind of fear issue here. And it's causing you to misread the situation. Because I feel like this is a group that looks at everything via control dynamics. And this other person that you threw this energy at doesn't. They aren't trying to control you, because I think you're thinking, oh, this is just like on equal terms. They just want their sovereignty, and they're allowed to have their sovereignty. And if you can't respect a person's sovereignty, there is no way in literal hell that you can love them. It's a base requirement for real, genuine love. And this is meant to level you up spiritually in that temperance energy. Something here has ended. And I think your spell work has ended. I think that, and if it hasn't, then this is a very powerful group of people. And I feel like just bringing this to the light, it's going to end, because it's like causing people to be very conscious of this. But you've been told, or you've been given time to wake up and participate with the positive ants, and to actively remove the energy that you've put at this person to cooperate with that. But just like this person had to go through that temperance energy and the agape, where they leveled up spiritually and they were like receiving some kind of initiation, now it's your turn. And I think it is genuinely shocking for you to know that, like, have to face that you've been found out. Yeah. And that you were trying to advance yourself. You wanted to partner with this person. This isn't a partnership. This is putting somebody on a leash. You want to partner with this person. You wanted to bind them next to you in order for you to advance, because you would be the only person in that scenario getting what you wanted out of the situation, because you know what this person wants. They told you. You disregarded it. This is bad. Okay, anyways, moving on. Okay, so there is fresh new energy coming in here for pile number 2 with the Ace of Wands. This could be a fresh new creative project or an idea, and it's also moving you away from whatever this energy is, and it's very steady and it's very consistent. You're moving away from this energy. I just heard a breach of faith, a breach of conduct. Something here has been a breach of conduct. And they're just moving you away. And you're going to have like, you don't have to do anything. Like if you're protecting yourself and whatever, and you have like your own spiritual practices and it's genuine, it's coming from a good place, meaning not a selfish place. You're not trying to control anything. You're trying to work with the positive energies in the universe. Like this is such balanced energy that's coming out with the Queen of Pentacles. This keeps coming out for you. Look, the Temperance card, it's balanced, it's sustaining. It's constantly growing slowly over time. I feel like there's an overlap for some of you here that chose pile 2 with pile number 1. I feel like pile number 2 is kind of a subset of pile number 1, to be honest. Like I feel like everything that I was saying there, where it's like you just need to protect yourself, protect your ideas, protect your energy, because you have all of the stuff and somebody here is trying to knock your confidence. Somebody here is trying to take from you. They're trying to mirror back to you that you need to be dependent on them and you don't. And if this is a parent, fuck them, because your parent is supposed to teach you how to be independent. And they're, okay, breach of contract. That's what that is. It's an actual breach of contract because that's literally the contract of parenthood. So, yeah, they're taking care of it for you, and this person cannot win in terms of like sabotaging this new beginning. So that's sometimes, and this hasn't happened to me in a long time, but sometimes spirit has a message that's more important. This is career related. Somebody here has been trying to sabotage your career behind the scenes. I do feel, like I said, I think there's an overlap with pile number 1 that I'm feeling very strongly. And I think a lot of you might be drawn back there for like the actual read on your actual career. You are a very strong person. You're a very talented person. You are very skillful in terms of you have a lot of professional skills that you can bring to the table, but you're very socially capable as well. You present very well. And I think that it's not natural for you to not be able to be expressive and to not be able to be sharing. And for some of you, they know that that's your strength and your strong suit, which is why they were trying to attack that. They were trying to make you look bland or feel bland, or like you didn't have anything to offer, or that you had to remain stuck or like weighted down or something. For some of you, there could have been stones like used in this process, or I'm seeing somebody lift up a rock and like put your name like under the rock or something. They were trying to like hold you down with that. So you are free of this though. That's what I'm getting. Like with this Saturnian energy, you've closed down this cycle and people are going to start noticing what you're doing. This is long overdue is what I'm getting. People are going to start noticing what you're doing and they're going to love what you're doing. And you don't have to like see or participate with whatever karma is going down for this other person. Spirit is co-creating with you to get you up out of this energy. Somebody here is like doing this, they're sending this energy and then they're trying to watch to see if it like affected you. I feel good in my stomach just even saying that. Like even just saying it out loud. So I feel like there might be something about like even just speaking this, or like, I don't know, like I said, there's a whole group of people here that are like aware and like energetically conscious. And I feel like it might be just shifting the energy. I don't know if we all just want to like shine our lights here for a second. And then because I'm kind of seeing just something like breaking up. But like if you just have time to sit and maybe do energy work. Okay, literally, I just felt that. Like I felt like the hug, the warmth, the like the support energy that just like shot out. But like, yeah, if you have some time, I think I'm just asking on behalf of group 2, even if this isn't your pile and you're not resonating with this. If you have time to just do a little bit of energy work, like during your, I'm just being filled with so much love right now. But if you have some time just to send like positive energy or just to pray for somebody's freedom or their sovereignty from this, just a moment, like when you're saying your prayers or you're doing your meditation, just to keep the people in pile 2, like, even if it's just 1 or 2 people that this resonates with, it's so deeply unfair and they're part of our community. And I feel like we're a witchy community and we're all about freedom here and liberation and self-sovereignty. And it just flies in the face of what we do here. So maybe Spirit's just making us aware of this to kind of just like, I just feel pumped full of light right now. Emily, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate you voicing this, Jess. Trying to stop people from living in their agency is the opposite of love. I could not agree more. It actually deeply angers me. And I think somebody here has a control issue where it's like they just can't let somebody grow and flourish, but it's lying to you. The voice that says that, you know, it's not enough and you've got to like hold people back. No, we could really have, in my opinion, we could have all of our problems solved. We could have peace on earth, like not in a pie in the sky kind of way, but we are our own best resource. If you pump up other people, you pump up yourself. And we all have something to like offer and give. And we need people to stand in their power. We need people to grow into themselves, you know? But yeah, I heard somebody when I was a kid, this was like literally when I was a kid, somebody in my family, they were like, my child better not be better at me than this, or my child better not be this way or that way. And I was like, what a weird perspective to have, you know, like we should want people to do the best around us. But again, it's that capitalistic system of like competition where we all have to be in competition rather than cooperation with each other all the time, that it makes us fear and want to sabotage and tear down other people. But this is a shift in consciousness. I know I sound so hippy dippy right now, but it's like, it's just a shift in consciousness, you know, there's a healing. I feel like something flickers in and out here for this person where they do understand that. They do understand like the necessity of cooperation, but they also kind of spot choose where they want to compete and like break people's heart. And now I think they're feeling responsible, or they will, because I think some people here are like, you need to let this. I'm really, and you guys, this is what I love about you, because sometimes I can growl. You know what I'm saying? Like when I tap into something, I'm like, what is going on here? But I feel the love that comes off this group, because the energy, it's like very much like, very motherly. It's like, okay, we're going to put that down now. Like, I feel like that's the energy that just came through. Like, okay, let go of their energy. We all know that you're sad, but you do need to leave them alone. Thank you. Like, it's very much like that. Okay. Yes, healthy communication is encouraging people to express their natural talents, abilities, and passions. Okay, so this was a bit of a weird one, but sometimes spirit has like something that's overriding. Anything else that you want to say to pile number 2 about their career? I just feel a fresh energy kind of coming in here. I feel like it's been sad that you've had to move away from a group of people. But honestly, I just feel like these people were lacking. And I feel like it's in integrity, and I feel like it's in morality, which you guys already know how I feel about this. I feel like integrity, morality, virtue, and principles, I feel like it's an intelligence. And I'm talking about your principles. I'm not talking about principles that people stuff down your throat. The ones that you actually resonate with. Going through the process of determining what your principles are and then really making that concerted effort to live out your principles. It is its own intelligence. It lights the way for you. The Play of Life, thank you so much for the super chat. And I feel like these people did not have that, and they were blocked off, and they didn't want to see. They didn't want to see their own bad behavior. They didn't want to see their own immorality. They were blocked off at the heart. And because of that, they were blinded. They were blinded to the fact that I think these people don't know what love is, genuinely. And I think that that's sad, you know, but I think you also have to protect yourself. And you've been a victim of this. And I am a firm believer that if you've been a victim of somebody, it's not your job to save them. If they clearly do need help if they're out victimizing people, but it's so inappropriate to go to the person you victimized and say, I need help. Go online, you know, to find a counselor or somebody, you know. But I feel like you had to walk away from this because you couldn't win. You were being disrespected, and it almost feels like there was like a plan or an intention to do this, like, you know, to disrespect your energy, like behind the scenes in some way, or to just not give you your props, or and they always just thought that they could say sorry because they felt like their decrepit nature was just hidden. But there's a smell that kind of comes off of it, at least like energetically or something here like that, and it's all just like being balanced out here. But I feel like there's a group that you had to move away from, and I think it's been very sad, and I think it's like put you through the dark night of the soul. I think that you have incorrect, well, I don't know, it's like hard, it feels unjust in the sense that like you didn't deserve what these people threw at you, and I don't think that you were necessarily meant to like have to go be alone on this hill in the hermit mode and have to like be sad. This didn't naturally come from you. This came from something that people threw at you or put your way, and really they should have been doing that. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding, because I feel like you've just leveled up so much. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's hard for me to say like, well, maybe this shouldn't have happened. Like for the highest and greatest good, maybe it did. Maybe, I don't know. Like you didn't deserve it. You didn't do anything to deserve this, but for your highest and greatest good, did you deserve this opportunity to level up and show yourself and other people like what you're made of and like who you actually are? Maybe you did. I don't know. Because there's a real beauty and a real strength that's actually come out of this that personally I don't understand. And maybe you've learned something about that. Maybe you've learned about like kind of leveling up here. But this does feel almost like timeline jumping for whoever this is. Like you've jumped a timeline and you have ridded yourself of these like people, because something here was it was an unequal give and take. But what's weird is that I remember learning about the Six of Pentacles that a lot of times the person in the needier position initiates the relationship. And then this can actually be a pretty long-standing dynamic. And I think that actually you were in this position where you had more to give or more to offer, almost like a teacher, almost like a spiritual teacher, like you agreed to maybe incarnate so that these people could watch you and study you, not to steal things, but they need it. And so that's kind of the difference. If somebody's teaching you and you're not just stealing from them, you're giving something back in return. At the very least, you're giving your respect, your time, your attention, your willingness to like work through what's presented in front of you. These people didn't do any of that. It was very superficial. And I think they were trying to seem like they were on your level, or maybe they were trying to be your favorite. But all of this is coming from such a place of desperation that I feel like it taps into that Scorpio energy, their shadow energy, and where they make it makes them very sneaky and very conniving and very strategic and very obsessed with power and control. And yeah, I'm kind of getting like this is this group here. Jill, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for enlightening people, for these types of people. Pile 2 is so my story. You're incredibly gifted. God bless. Love to all your listeners. Thank you for saying that too, because I always get weirded out whenever I tap into spell work, because I wasn't aware of how many people like kind of do this. But and also I think there's can be like runaway magic from past lives that we're unaware of, or just intention, energy. You know, we live in an energetic world. But I feel like this was the group here, and like you were sad, you know, and you were up actually on this hill, which always reminds me of the Buddha, because, you know, the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and was enlightened, and you were sad and like protective and defensive and maybe like dejected, but you were like leveling up spiritually speaking this whole time, and it made you closer to God. And now there is this other cup that's coming through, that's coming in. And yeah, and you're jumping into some kind of new beginning. So I feel like, oh, remember we started this off with the high priestess. So there's something that's coming in for you that you can't yet fathom or like understand, because it feels like jumping timelines. It feels like it wasn't maybe necessarily a part of your life plan when you came in here, but then these people chose to do what they did to you and you leveled up really quick. So it's like the life plan or the paths that you maybe potentially had planned out for yourself, those no longer apply in a good way for you, in a good way. And so you have this kind of like new beginning, this fool-like energy, where you've moved away and you're trusting your intuition, because I really think that you've had to merge with that, and it's bringing in some kind of like freshness. Look, the Ace of Cups, the hand of God is offering you something. I'm really getting that, and it has to do with your career, and it's maybe with this lover's energy. Let me just see. I can't really get it. It's different. Whatever it is, it's like different than maybe something you thought you saw yourself doing. And I'm hearing myself say in one of the channel readings, because I was laughing when that message was coming through, but I kept seeing somebody almost in a revenge fantasy where they were fantasizing about you being impressed with them and you having to come back to them. But the whole thing was really unjust. And I feel like the divine has a sense of humor and just like switched it. And I remember saying in that, I was like, you have some kind of gift or blessing that's coming through, and it feels like a big dream, but it doesn't necessarily feel like your dream. I think whatever it is, it's like a good dream, because these people are obsessed with like power and control. So whatever they were fantasizing about, I think it was like general power or control, like some kind of general goodness. And I feel like the divine is actually just going to give that to you. And it's like switching the roles, where now like this person has to look at you living out some version of a dream that they had or something like that. And it's something weird happened here. Something spiritual, something energetic occurred here. And I feel like you just had to contend with it. And I feel like actually you were triumphant. And I feel like you really helped spirit in this process in some way. And yeah. And it almost feels like you're outside the bounds, or like that's what's coming in, is something to be outside the bounds of control, because the Hierophant comes after the Emperor, which is kind of about like the traditional order or structure of things. So something may come in for you where you're actually like free of like outside of the system of power or control in some way. Maybe this is just like your boss is like, you've proven yourself, go have a runaway project and with no oversight or something like that. I don't know, but it just feels like there's something coming in for you. And I almost feel like it's the Ace of Wands, man. It's the Ace of Wands, some kind of passionate new beginning where I think you will be the favorite. And there's some kind of change in your fortune and your skills, and it's part of the karma that these people have brought upon themselves as well. So what a ride here, pile number 2. What a ride. What a ride. Sorry for my temper, that I got very angry, but I really don't like this, like injustice. I just really cannot stand it. But I just want to say that I feel a lot better, because I also felt that energy work that you guys just did. Like I felt the energy of it, and it feels nice, and I know that that's the energy that I should be in more, which is just like, okay, stop it. But like to try to undercut someone in their career, and like something that could render them like homeless or destitute, that is just another level of cruel that I can't even fathom. All right. Anger cleanses and clears. Yeah. I felt the shift and buried patterns. I'm being shown how I've been under the thumb of a man. Yeah. We just transmuted the energy. I really feel that. I think keep doing your protections and stuff, but yeah. Okay, wow. What an interesting reading. Compassion. Compassion, compassion. Your anger can be healing because this energy can create people pleasers. Yeah. I am. Janae says, don't apologize. You're such a fierce protector of women and innocence. I really am. That's what I don't like. I don't like when innocence is taken advantage of, manufactured in someone in order to be taken advantage of. I just cannot stand it. And I particularly cannot stand it when someone does it and then acts like their shit doesn't stink. And then like just completely refuses to acknowledge the absolute abject immorality and cruelty that they just levied at somebody else without their knowledge, without their ability to face their accuser, without their ability to even know what's going on so that they can defend themselves. I think that's the lowest of the low. I really do. Ugh. I don't want it near me. I don't want it near me. Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay. These are the 3 piles that we have, and we've done the first 2, which is the stone and agape, and we're moving on to the thread, which is pile number 3 over there. That's the one that we're doing. Okay, I'm just going to put a little more of my lip gloss on. Righteous anger. Hello, judgment. This is Jill. I love it. I love it. You know what else too? Like I've been doing a lot of reflecting because you guys know how I feel about like niceness and goodness. Like niceness isn't truly good. But I have noticed in myself, like where judgment is concerned, I am a person that will pray that somebody gets their judgment. But I don't want to be the person who does it because I'm like, oh, that's immoral. That's beneath me. So what is that? You know, it's like I'm praying that somebody else out there has the balls to like shut this person down or tell them no. But I just don't think that it should be me. But really, I think that I am kind of a dignified person. I feel like I exercise an enormous amount of restraint, and I feel like I have like a good attitude towards things in general. And I also acknowledge that, have you ever heard that problem where it's like, if you could go back in time and you could end the World War II bad guy before he came to power, would you do it? Because you would have to do something bad, but do you know how many people you would save if you did that? It's kind of like that, where I feel like that's karma. That's why karma is necessary for goodness even to prevail, because people have to be confronted with themselves. They have to take responsibility for themselves. Otherwise, they're just going to keep harming people. That's why I don't like the delusion factor of here I am throwing negative spell work at people and I'm trying to sabotage them, and I refuse to acknowledge that that's a bad thing to do. And so I'm just going to keep doing it to other people. Like it's one thing that occurred to begin with, but you operate on a level of consciousness that is going to keep doing that to other people. And we all want to live in a world that's peaceful and good and kind, but we just can't do it unless people are willing to really look at themselves and take accountability, even though it's like not always a fun thing to do. Anyways. You are the angel on the judgment card. You earned it. Oh, good Lord. I would love and hate that job. Yeah. I honestly believed everything happens as it's meant to. So the idea of going back in time to change anything is inherently against my belief. You know, I think that's very wise. And I think you're probably right about that. Because karma is going to be worse than the atom bomb when it comes. Yeah. Well, and that's also why it's good for people to get called out early and to bring something to somebody's attention, even though it might be an uncomfortable conversation. Because if it just goes on and on and on, it does kind of balloon. And now like they've got 10 people that they're, and I don't even know if that's how karma works. I don't know if it does compound, because I don't know. I don't know. Okay, moving on. Moving on to pile number 3. Okay. What is this? Okay, finances and regret. Party. Okay, I feel like this group, legal matters. Okay, I feel like this group could be having some financial issues. And they're in a karmic situation when it comes to their job and when it comes to their boss. I do feel like it's a struggle. And I feel like this red thread here, it's like, I always get the sense of this person doing like a pull-up. They're doing like a deadlift. And I think that's what maybe your job or your life kind of feels like. It feels like, hello, darkness, my old friend. Like, that's what I'm getting. And it feels like you're climbing up towards that to this like brighter day. And you kind of have a sense about that. And I think that some of you are having certain regrets about like maybe finances or financial decisions. And this could be risks that you took that now in hindsight, you're like, well, I really shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have invested that much into this, or maybe I should have not got my degree in this, but I should have, I feel like hindsight is 2020 here with this pile. And I feel like you're working through some level of like balancing out. The party card came out here too. So maybe some of you regret that you spent a lot of money on partying, or that you were partying when you could have been like focusing on building up something to do with like your finances or something here like that. So I think it's maybe gotten you in a situation that is not ideal for you here at this current time. And there could be some kind of legal matter that's come in, and maybe this was like a divorce or something that happened with like a major asset that's kind of put you behind, and maybe that's what's having you feeling trapped in a job that maybe you didn't think that you were gonna have to be trapped in here. And I think there's, yeah, okay, so we've got liquid courage, and there is a partying energy here as well. But I do feel like there's okay, so the karma that's being worked out here, I think around your job, and they're using like job, career, finances, like your guide team is, in order to help you connect with bravery, confidence, and potentially some kind of odd behavior. Like, and what I mean by that is maybe embracing your own freak flag, like what it is that you're meant to go after. Like it's putting you in a position where it's like you want to actually work towards that or something, to actually embrace that in yourself. So what's going on here, this career reading? You're building up some kind of strength in this career. Oh, look, I just said that. You're building up your strength here in something. And while maintaining a certain softness. And it does feel like it's putting you in this kind of moon energy where maybe things are cyclical. This feels like living paycheck to paycheck. It feels like month to month. It feels like not maybe liking where you live or something here like that. It feels like very emotional. And some of you, you're having regrets here about somebody that you maybe married. Maybe this is a divorce settlement or something. You could have met this person like out partying, and then you had to end up giving up a lot of money. There's a regret here around loss and around money, and it feels like some kind of something rooted in your past that you are learning about, and you are making progress. And I feel like this whole situation is actually pushing you inward. Sorry, I thought there was like a hair hanging off of my finger. It's making you this King of Cups. Oh, look, Queen of Cups. Interesting. It's making you softer, and it's making you more receptive, because I feel like it might actually be preparing you in a career field that involves those emotions, like healthcare, like mental health, like, being a therapist or something here like that. I think it's building actually some kind of receptivity, because in the strength card, I was really picking up on that. Like, you are building some kind of strength while maintaining some kind of vulnerability, and you are gaining some kind of experience that makes you understand what other people mean when they're going through something. And it's like valuable life experience, I think, that you are going through. Some of you are like, yeah, but with that cyclical energy, you're like, I just kind of keep going through it. I think you're going to learn how to bust free from this cycle. And I think that's valuable information to have. You might help other people like in the same way. Okay, I don't know if this is something that you've done yet, but I think this group may end up doing something that you figure out for yourself. Like, you figure out something here. And it's like, I'm hearing necessity is the mother of invention. And then you're going to walk other people through that process, or you're going to teach other people what you did, what you learned. And there's a receptivity here. And there is it feels like your energy is very porous right now. And that's because you're kind of taking in everything as you go. Because Spirit really does love us, and Spirit doesn't want us to suffer. And that's why we're all here walking each other home. And there's always resources. You don't have to struggle and do things the hard way, especially like from the jump. So I think like you are maybe helping people avoid some of the pit stops that you did or something here. So what is going on? Like, what is pile number 3 good at that they can like leverage or lean more into? You're good at research. You're very observant. Okay, this is interesting. We have the Seven of Swords and the Page of Swords that are coming out. Air sign energy. So I think you're good at observing people. You pick up on like little details. I think you don't express much though. I think you do actually take in a lot, but you maybe don't express much, or like you hang by like the periphery. You're good at being a student. You're good at considering things. You're good at making decisions. You're good at kind of like balancing things like back and forth, and saying how one thing is different than another thing. You're really good at that. There's something, it is, you've definitely gone a different way here than maybe you intended, or that you thought your life could have been derailed or like gotten off track. Like you could have had a certain plan in your mind. And so it's taking you by a different path, but because you went a different way, you have a different perspective here. There's something here about that. There is definite leadership energy, and I do think that's going to happen for you. And I think it's going to be in this like rainbow energy here, but it's like after you kind of work through whatever karmas you have to work through, like, and it feels very personal. It feels like with yourself, learning how to work with yourself. And I'm seeing like Mulan, let's get down to business, and everybody's got to try to climb that wooden pole, to get to the arrow at the top. And she's the first one, even though she's a woman. And women notoriously do not have like the upper body strength. I know it's a cartoon, but like, that's what I'm saying is like, you're different. And because you're different, it means a lot more strength and discipline, right? That's what I'm hearing. Strength and discipline. Because those were the things that she was holding on her arms to reach it. It requires both to reach the arrow. So you're building strength and discipline, and it is karmic, and you're learning how to do that. And I think that maybe in your past, you're kind of realizing that those things, that's what you lost, is like strength or discipline, or one over the other. And that's why like you didn't stay on track or something here. There's a paradox that you need to embrace about yourself, is what I'm getting, in order to close this karmic cycle. And then you're going to have some kind of ships that are coming in. You do have that. What else is pile number 3 good at? It's like you have a different strength. Like Mulan is a woman, and she loves her father so much, right? It's that heart energy, that sensitivity energy. But she's surrounded in a sea of men, and she's expected to do the same thing as the men are doing, but she's different. So I feel like this could be like neurodivergence, or like you're just different in some way. And so you have to learn how to make something work for yourself. And I feel like that's part of your karma, is like and it's for you to do. And it's kind of through trial and error, because it's like knowing through like doing like this works or this doesn't work. But it's also about like actively like trying to like work through that kind of a thing. And once you get it, it's like you're going to get it, and it's going to like really click in. It's going to really go. And it feels like time is just kind of passing, and there's some kind of cycle that like always replays out over and over and over again. And you feel like maybe you're running out of time. And I feel like you do really want to be spotted or seen. What's the real path though? Okay, you guys, like this is a mind game. This is a mental game. Okay, because you haven't gotten to the root of it yet. Okay, because you're in this 8 of Swords energy. And look how she's like looking in the mirror. So I feel like you're looking in the mirror and you don't like what you see necessarily reflected back at you. And so it's affecting like your mental health and like your emotions and the way that you feel about yourself. And I think sometimes you feel like, okay, I got it, and I'm feeling confident about it, but then it inevitably goes back. And the reason it's doing this cyclical thing is because you really have not gotten actually to the root of it yet. But once you get to the root of whatever it is and you actually correct it there, then this cyclical thing is actually like kind of gonna stop. I feel like there is a certain amount of acceptance here that needs to happen. And maybe even accepting that you can't get somebody's attention in the way that you want. What if you just accepted that? That you can't get somebody's attention in the way that you want. And to stop chasing after that. And instead, you focus on something else. On a message. Pursuing some kind of independence, taking responsibility. So what things can pile number 3 work on here? King of Pentacles. Whoa. Some of you, there's a father issue. When I'm saying like you can't get somebody's attention in the way that you want, that might be somebody in your present environment, but I think it goes back to a father. So I think you need to do some of that where it's like you just have to accept and forgive yourself and say like, I'm never going to, and maybe some of you are never going to have this kind of father that's like happy and casual and, or some of you are like waiting for a father to come back or something here like that. And that's in your soul. It's like, and so it always feels like you're doing a chin up. That's what this energy is. It always feels like you're doing a chin up. Because see how this is like this Page of Cups, but his feet are cut out from under him. It might be, this could be dissociation because you're just thinking a lot about this, imagining a lot about this like business energy, this father energy, this, and it kind of stays in that realm. There's something here lurking. It's attention. I think attention, okay, so I just heard attention deficit. So some of you may struggle with attention, but it's because attention is the root of the issue here. You could never get this father's attention. So I feel like you feel squirmy around attention. You want it, but you don't want it because maybe you're always found inadequate. So maybe this is like the back and forth energy. And this goes back to like a father energy. And then some of you, I think, have, it's like stuck in your mind or something. So there's something here about attention. Where do I put my attention? It's linked, like where you put your attention and like having received healthy attention in the past, the giving and the receiving of attention, there's a link. And I'm seeing a shoestring kind of like being pulled back and forth. And I feel like you need to pull your energy back from this father figure in order to be able to have control of your attention back. Because it's like, I think when you were young, it's like you learned how to split your energy because you never could be total in yourself. This is what I think this is. I think I'm hitting something here. You could never be total in yourself, which is what your focus should be on, and everything will flow from there. You don't do that. Even if you think you're doing that, this is a group that doesn't do that. You're always half in and half out because there's a part of you that's always thinking like, is this going to please my father? Am I going to get the attention that I want if I do this? It's siphoning your energy. It's a preoccupation. And so it's actually, you're not total and you're never whole in what it is that you're doing. But this is kind of lurking here. And I think it also creates a space in your mind, some kind of like space in your mind, because I'm getting that moon in Aquarius energy where it's very distant and it is very boundary pushing, but you need almost that distance there because that's what makes you feel safe about the attention. It's safer for you to daydream about boundary pushing. It's safer for you to daydream about this new idea that you're going to, because it's the distance when it comes to attention, because you want attention and you're terrified of it at the same time. So you have to kind of like get over that. And I do feel like there's like a bit of a control issue here as well. Yeah, it's a functioning dysfunction. Where you feel shitty as well. Like you feel shitty and you feel bad. Maria, thank you so much for the super chat. Know your direction and stay focused, but be open to small detours that show another path forward. Your plan will be altered often for the best. Beautiful. Yeah, but I'm getting that this is a functioning dysfunction whereby you feel that there's something bad. And it's, look, there's more attention. Somebody wants to get your attention and it's this in and out energy. And so I think even in your own energy, in your attention, because you'll be doing something over here and then you'll pull your attention away from that. Don't do it. In order to, am I getting attention? Is this okay? And then you'll put it back in and it's creating this like Morse code. Stop doing it. It's like this constant checking. It's like a tick. It's like a picking. It's like a psychological picking is what you're doing. And it's because you're trying to control somebody's attention or reaction to you because you want this energy from a father who just couldn't give it to you. Who won't give it to you. They're not that. They were never that. Some of you, this person just wasn't around because it's like you're constantly waiting for your ships to come in with this father. You're constantly waiting for them to pick you. It's kind of pick me energy. And I'm saying that with love. And it's like you're replicating that cycle over and over and over again. And you feel like, woe is me and I'm never picked. And it's like, pick yourself, pick a dream and just go towards it. And it doesn't matter if it's the most beautifulest dream ever, just finish one. Like, and that'll change your life. I feel like you're going to get it then and it's going to change your life. And that's that independence energy. Like, I'm not my father's son is what I'm hearing. Or I'm not my father's daughter. I'm just not. I'm my own self now. And I am taking back my attention. That's going to lead to victory. This is an attention. I just heard attention deficit, but I don't think you have an attention deficit. I think that your attention is being split and you got to pull it back. Stop checking for this person or whoever the person is in your life, your boss or whoever that you're trying to please, because the irony is you end up not pleasing them, but it's because you're not total and you're not whole in what it is that you're doing. So you're scattered and you're all over the place and you lose the plot or, something here like that. I don't care if you approve of me. I'm doing this task. And that's what I'm focused on, is just doing this task. And that's the irony. That's the paradox. Just focusing on the task is going to get you pleased. This is like a people pleaser group that probably hates that about themselves, but it's just because you didn't get like loved or noticed as a child. But you have to just learn to, it's ironic and it's going to make you feel like a victim, but you have to say, what if I never get that attention and I'm never going to get praise? All I'm going to focus on doing is the task in front of me, because this is what I'm going to do. And I know that it's easier said than done, because I can see you've been split in your energy like since childhood. It's a splitting in your mind or in your energy. It's a functioning dysfunction where you're constantly chasing victory and never receiving. Strength and discipline. And I'm hearing sometimes in life there really is no other way other than to muscle through it. And I feel like for some of you, that might be the beginning part of this. I just heard the word slog. There's wish fulfillment energy here. There is a busting free. You're going to get this. There is an ability to get this at the root and to bust free from like whatever it is and to like get some kind of wish fulfillment here. And whatever it is, it's like you're going to get the attention and you're going to get the love, and it feels like peace with the rainbow. You're going to make peace with your soul. Because you know how like they say dis-ease, like you're in a state of dis-ease, you're going to reach that state of ease with yourself where you're just going to be okay with yourself. That's what I feel like this is. Yeah, because you constantly feel inadequate. And that's what you have to deal with. Like you constantly feel inadequate because of this. And you're constantly waiting for the ships to come in. And I feel like it's put you on alert, you know, alert for any bit of praise or anything. And it feels like it's put you on high alert for any bit of praise, where it just feels like you won't do anything unless you feel like you're going to get praise from it, or you can't muster up the motivation unless you think that you're going to get praise from it or rewarded from it. If there is that possibility, then you go after it, but then you're constantly checking for the praise and that sensitivity to that. There's a sensitivity here. The sensitivity to that is all consuming in your attention. It's dominating your attention. You're wrangling back your attention from this constant. It's like you're constantly picking in the mirror. That's what it is. On a psychological level. And there's an in and out, and there's and this could even spill over in your love life, where it's like you want to be noticed by somebody. There's an irony to this. Like the key to getting this person's attention is not to fixate on getting their attention. It's not to fixate on getting their approval, which is what I feel like you've done in this like father energy, and like fixate and like just pick up on every little thing. And then anything that seems like it's going a little bit wrong, it just completely derails you, because you know, a lot of times you've got to, I don't know if you've ever seen a project like in the middle of it, but a lot of times it looks like abject shit when you're in the middle stages. And so if you try to show the father in the middle stages and the father's like, ugh, like, and then you're gonna be like, oh my God, like there's a part of you that's like, ugh, and it's like, just focus. If you just focused on the project, you know what your vision was, you know the assignment is what I'm getting. You always do. You know the assignment. You're very intelligent. And then just like build it up. And I feel like that's your path forward. Like just doing maybe little things, maybe little projects. This could be a very crafty kind of group, but just doing that, finishing projects to completion. That's the beginning. And that's going to build up your confidence. Because remember, I'm saying like you see a lot of things, but I feel like you stick back on the perimeter. You don't like necessarily like speak up to get the attention, even though you want the attention. And that's where you're going to build the confidence to do that, is by actually finishing projects and literally not pining for attention, just finishing the project and leaving it there. And I kind of feel like for a lot of you, you're going to have 4 or 5 people just be like, that's really cool. Who made that? And it's going to be you. You just got attention. And you weren't pining after it, and you didn't make somebody feel bad because they didn't give you the appropriate amount at the right time, and then you blame them because they derailed your whole project. You derailed your whole project. You have to stop running on the currency of another person's attention, and you have to be enough for yourself. You have to say, look, this is a lost cause, you know, with whoever this is. It's a lost cause. They don't get it. Some people are just not going to get you, you know? And I just feel like that's kind of what this is. So I don't know. I feel like this is definitely like, maybe for some of you, there is some like attention deficit issues. There could be like a need for therapy, or maybe even like medication for some of you. Do whatever feels right for you. Because I feel like this is a harder one. This is like a deeper entrenched pattern. There's karmas that are being worked out with attention, with a father figure, with a constant waiting for your ships to come in. And it's like commandeered your attention. I feel like this is a father wound actually. And then it turns into a boss wound, or anybody that you would like to impress. It becomes a them wound, but it's just superimposing that energy. You're probably really attracted to like avoidant people, maybe. People who have an avoidant attachment style. And it's not personal. It's not a you thing. And I'm also hearing the 4 agreements where it's like, one of them is nothing is personal. Don't take anything as personal, you know? And I feel like it's a matter of working through it. It's not a matter of like knowing these things. It's the strength and discipline to just like keep challenging those thoughts, keep pushing through, like as you're doing it. It's going to click in, and then you are going to bust free from this. I really do see you breaking the cycle in this lifetime. I really actually do. Some of you think it can't be done, but it can. I'm seeing it. And you're going to be this King of Pentacles. That's the ironic part. I just heard you be the King of Pentacles. So I think for some of you, you need to focus on giving your attention in a fatherly way. Even if you're a female, like that encouraging voice of seeing the value in something, I think like you be that. That's another like key, I think, here as well. Anything else? Anything else that they could kind of, oh yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's like you play the role of the father, even in your own mind. Like, don't look outside yourself. Be your own dad, is what I'm hearing, like in your own mind. And give yourself time and give yourself patience. And be a little bit more protective. If you're doing something and it's in the middle stages, just say it's in the middle stages and I don't want to show you. Like to whoever is like, just say that. Say you're not going to get it. You're going to tell me it's gross and ugly and I don't want to hear that right now. You know, like just say that and protect certain things. And maybe do it where they're outside of work, where it's just for you and there's no deadline. Like do a project like that in order to receive like that praise. And I think that if you think about it, you've had those experiences because you have the skill, you have the intelligence, you have those things. But I think when attention is a factor, then I think it scrambles things up for you. You start to panic because you start to think, oh no, I'm not going to get the attention and I have to have the attention. But if you don't focus so much on getting the attention and equating attention with success, if you stop equating attention with success and you just focus on the actual skill and the actual value, then I think you're going to get further. I'm not a people pleaser. He's a dream crusher. Yeah. So that might be it as well. Yeah. Well, and what I'm saying by people pleaser, it's like, I think you, at the very least, you wanted him to get it, you know, or like understand like whatever it was that you were trying to make or say, or, like your dreams, understanding like your vision. And it's like, I'm hearing you be like, well, you just don't get it. You know, it's like, well, you just don't understand me. And yeah. Yeah. My whole life a dumpster fire right now, girl. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Before you freak out, don't freak out. Yeah. And this is where I feel like mindfulness will really help you, you know, because your mind is running away from you. And here's the thing about people. Our minds always run away with us. Every single person you meet, their mind has a way of running away with itself. It's unique to them. Other people do it too. Like they have a certain pattern in their mind that's coping. And this just happens to be yours. But everybody does have that. But I feel like it's embracing that you have your own unique way, and it will make you different, and it can make you strong, and it actually can gain you attention in the right way, or like having people connect with like your vision or something. But it's like, there's something about your karmas where you wanted to do it your own way, or like you really wanted to be different than the people around you and master that. Or your guides thought that would be important for you to not to look out at like what everybody else is doing and just to have to focus on like yourself and how you operate. This is very tortoise in the hare too, which I think came out in one of the other piles where it's like, don't focus on what they're doing, just focus on what you're doing. You know, I'm ready to push through. And you're going to fall. Okay. You're going to expect yourself to fail. Everybody fails, right? And this is just like where you're going to lose momentum or something. And when you do, just be tender with yourself. And then tomorrow's another day. That is where victors are made, is what I'm hearing. That is where victors are made. When you fall, it's that push up, back up that just determines it. You see, I think it's so easy to look at other people and be like, they're just running and they never fall flat on their face. No, they do. But the victors, they're the ones that do the push up, you know? And it's like, okay. And it's like, oh, it's the last thing that you want to do after you take the tumble. It really is. But if you can muster that strength, you're going to be back up on your feet again. And it's just going to keep that momentum going in a certain way. Like just be dedicated to that. Like at the very least, just knock me down 9 times. I'm going to get up 10. And for some of you, you can put your attention on the push up. Focus less on like, okay, I'm running because you know you can run. I feel like that's in this marathon example, it's like, you know you can run. You know that you're smart. You know that you're intelligent. You know that you have worthwhile ideas that you can put in practice. You know that about yourself already. So the part that trips you up is something here. Might have to do with attention. And that's when you fall on your face. So put your focus, put your metric of how successful you are or aren't on the push-up. Give yourself the praise for the push-up. Yeah, got back up, 3 seconds this time, and then that's going to show you. And before you know it, you're going to have biceps out to here and and you're just going to be running through it. And I think that you're not even going to bat an eye when you fall. It's just going to be part of the process. And you're going to be like, I thought I was running a marathon, but it turns out I was running this like reverse hurdle situation where instead of like having a hurdle every now and again, I just have to stop and do a push-up every now and again. And that apparently is the activity that I am doing. Like I thought that I was messing up and that something was wrong when I fell on my face, but it's just because God wanted me to do a push-up here because this is apparently the relay race that I have involved in. It's run for a little bit, push up. Run for a little bit, push up. So for some of you, it's like switching your mind instead of thinking like something's wrong, I messed up. And then I think it's the attention thing. Oh, all eyes are on me. Everybody thinks that I'm a fuck up. No, we are all too busy fucking up ourselves to notice that you happen to fuck up or to think any less of you because of it. And the people that do are the most insecure people. And you need to just know that. The people that are like, you just fell down. They fall down too. Notice that the winners aren't laughing at you. Okay. They're just focused on their push up. Be one of those. Yeah. Like just focus or learn to laugh at yourself or something. There's all kinds of skills that you can, I don't know what your resiliency is. There's all kinds of skills, but just switch that mindset to instead of like, I trip and I fall sometimes to like, actually, this is my event. I run, I push up, I run, I push up, and this is my event. And I'm going to get good at that. Bitch gonna have some biceps. 9 life path, LMAO, to a T. Yeah. And this group as well, like, well, actually, never mind. I don't think that's right. I was going to say something, but I feel like it's wrong. And stop focusing on all the fuck up stuff. I feel like this is a group that's like very negative. It's like, I'm just a fuck up. No, you're not. Or like, I always fuck up. Literally everyone alive fucks up like multiple times a day. It's just that it's about having that healthy, resilient attitude and liking yourself, being your own best friend. Like, it's perfectly fine after you like go through something embarrassing to just like run to the bathroom, lock yourself in a stall and to be like, and just to like be like, I'm seriously so stupid. And then just be like, you know what? It's okay. Like, and just know that your people are out there and that healthy people are out there, safe people are out there. And you know what else might work for this group is to read biographies of people who failed a lot and like how they like learn about like their process. I had a friend that did that and I always have thought that I was going to do that because I was like, that's a really good idea. And she was like, yeah, I just got on this kick where I was reading nothing but biographies. And she's like, I've just learned that people mess up a lot. Like, I just thought that these people would accomplish these great things. They just did it. And she was like, they actually, like, a lot of them were depressed, near schmooicidal, they had terrible relations. I just thought that their lives were perfect and then she's like, I just realized that like, no, they just like kind of kept at it or something. Cheryl, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for all your insights. You're such a blessing. Oh, thanks guys. I'm just a F up is a cop out. Oh my gosh. And maybe that's something for you to, it like lifts the lid, doesn't it? Like, oh, well, I'm just an F up. It lifts the lid. It takes the pressure off and you've given your mind something that like satisfies it instead of, again, trying to get to the real root of it. I'm just an F up. It is a cop out. And it's very broad. Even if you genuinely think that about yourself, it's very broad and you didn't actually discover anything about yourself, right? Like, again, get in that diagnostic mind of like, well, what specifically threw me off this time? That's the push-up, right? I love this community. Laughing at myself like my own best friend is great medicine. Yeah, like yourself. Give yourself a break. Be like, and yeah, and it's like, I think this is a reframing of messing up. And I always think about the Brené Brown quote where she says it was on, and I think that this group might have quite a bit of shame that's like buried. And you might want to listen to her talk on shame or her talk on vulnerability. Cause she says, you can't talk about vulnerability without understanding shame. But she says that what she liked about the TED conference, which is where she gave those speeches, is that it's really the failure conference. She was like, everybody who stands up here and who has had like a major victory, they failed every single time, like before they finally got up here. It's like secretly the failure conference. And I just love that. And I feel like it's about reframing failure. You learn so much when you fail if you allow yourself, and just telling yourself like, oh, I'm just a fuck up. You didn't learn. You didn't learn near enough. You didn't squeeze the juice out of it. My husband was talking about the large intestine the other day, because that's who he is. He's like very intelligent, but he was talking about like, you know how your large intestine, and it really squeezes the last like bit of nutrient out of like everything. Like, that's what you can do in your mind. You cannot waste stuff. Like, every failure, treat it like gold, you know? And it's like, just really, really learn and like yourself through the process. So, celebrate you, baby girl. Been stuck on this from 2020, so embarrassed. Yeah. And it's hard in a Western country because we're told that our identity is wrapped up in our career and how much money we make and the position that we have and everything. And if you're just a regular person, then apparently like you're just not good enough. But it should be good enough, this not to be this person, okay? But just to go back to capitalism, like I live in America, and there's this John Steinbeck quote that's like, well, socialism never took off in America because the American poor don't look at themselves as a part of the proletariat. They look at themselves as a temporarily embarrassed millionaire. And I always think about that concept. So many Americans think of themselves like a temporarily embarrassed millionaire instead of embracing that I'm just a regular degular. I'm just a part of the proletariat, and that should be okay. That should be a good place to be. It should be a respectable place to be. But it's like reframing things in our mind. So we've been conditioned in our culture to think that if you're not a millionaire, if you're not a this, or if you're not a flashy that, then you're failing. That goes back to failure. You have to reframe it, and you cannot just let society dictate to you what a failure is and what a failure isn't, what a success is, what a success isn't. You have to wrangle that back. That ties right back in with approval that you keep seeking, the people-pleasing stuff. Like maybe this father figure, again, you're giving over your power. You're saying, like, I feel like it was this father in the past, because they were the authority, it's like they told you what got attention, what got love in your household, right? These traits and qualities, not these traits and qualities. It's about pulling that back and saying, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I think a success is. This is what I think a failure is. And I'm none of those things. As long as, you know what I'm saying? It's like reframing that stuff and not just listening to the voice of mother culture. That's from Ishmael. Like that mother culture raises us up, but we have to kind of learn how to, we have to wean ourselves from the teat of mother culture at some point. And it's just about saying like, I agree with this and I don't agree with that. And it's fine. Like for me, I don't have to be a temporarily embarrassed millionaire. I'm fine if I'm never that. I like being regular. I like being a part of the proletariat. And to me, that's being a successful person. I judge my success more on like my intrinsic qualities and like my spirituality and things like that. It's not to say they don't see value in the other stuff, but you see what I'm saying? And I feel like this is about taking your power back. That's what this is. This is about wrestling your power back. And a lot of it has to do with strength and discipline. And it also has to do with attention. So was born in the USSR in 1985. Condition of cultural, social cookie cutters all fit one, LOL. Just like boys don't cry. Yeah. And I feel like every culture has like a way of doing that. Like you have to be like this certain way or whatever. But yeah. I was even thinking about that. Remember Hammurabi's code? Remember learning about that in school? And that was like an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. And it was considered like a real step up for humanity, morally speaking. But it's not, I think it's correct, right? Like an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. But I was for some reason thinking about that the other day. And I was like, I cannot shake the fact that like Hammurabi was the state, right? Like he was the ruler. And you can understand that people seeking their justice in the society that you rule, if they're out there eye for an eyeing each other, like you need people with eyes. And if you cut off my hand, so now I'm cutting off yours. Instead of having one person with no hand, now you got two people with no hand. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's bad for the state because the state needs like people with two eyes and two arms to do the work that the state needs the people to do. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, yeah, it was legitimately, it's the correct thing, I think, you know, morally speaking. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. You shouldn't be out there like seeking your vengeance. But it also wasn't lost on me that it's like the culture kind of like requires people to believe a certain thing so that the culture can operate a certain way and we can kind of frame it. I don't know. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And again, I'm capable of like nuanced thought of being like, I can agree with it and think that, yes, that was a step up for us morally, but it's also not lost on me the role that the state played and like the state's needs in that kind of, I don't know. Maybe we all got to be blind for a bit. A new perspective on self can make mighty changes. And be patient with yourself. That's the thing. It's like, and also the last thing that I'll say is like having that process-oriented mindset rather than this fixed-oriented mindset. Because a fixed-oriented mindset is I'm a fuck up, right? Or I'm just this way and I'm just that way and I'll never change. But that's been proven wrong. And like that process-oriented mindset is, well, maybe I used to be like this, but if I apply certain things in this way, I can actually change and become this other way. And people who do that tend to make more money. They tend to be happier. They tend to be healthier when they have like that actual mindset, you know? And that's what I'm saying is like, put your focus on the process instead of like the end result of what you want to be. Because there's no faster way to just deaden your dreams than to say like always to compare yourself to where you want to be. Focus on the process, the next step and the next step, but enjoy the process, which is why a lot of successful people say that you have to choose something that you enjoy the process, or you're not going to be successful, or at least you enjoy most of the process. And then you can tolerate the bad parts, the stuff that you don't like, because you like the process in and of itself. That kind of ties into right and proper action, which is that you should take an action because it is the, not because of the result that it will give you, but because it's the next right action for you, you know, kind of thing. So anyways, I digress. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's still happening today. Wow. So anyway, I hope that you don't stop hating on yourself so much. Pile number 3. You are a lovely person. And honestly, I think you can think about this too. Like if you lived in a different time, in a different society that was structured a different way, and it wasn't so hierarchical, because our hierarchical society means that there's less and less opportunities. There's less and less positions like at the top. It's just the name of the game. And if we don't pull back and say like, well, it's not reasonable to expect everybody to be at the top. There's one position at the top. You know what I'm saying? But if you lived in a society that maybe structured itself a little different in a different time period, you know, like would maybe your talents would be recognized a little bit more, you know, or valued a little bit more. If you're really good at sewing and your society lives in tents and you have like, you are the source of shelter, like do you see how that would give you a different perspective on yourself? So you can't ignore like that dance between yourself and the system and then trying to just figure out like, I don't know what works. I don't know. We don't live in a society that gives us a lot of grace or a lot of time to figure ourselves out and things like that. You're far from a regular degular. Aw. Jill, you did not have to retract that. But, yeah. All right. I'm doing my PhD and my dad told me I should break bones, but I told him my PhD journey is a spiritual one. Yeah. It's like feeling connected to it. Yeah. And you really can't put a price tag on liking yourself at the end of the day. And maybe that should be your focus as well. Is like you accepting you. You know? I feel like there's just a hypercritical voice in your mind. Like, you stupid. Like, you know? But it's about overcoming that. And I think it's about you liking you. Because I think that you think like, oh, well, people just don't recognize me. But I think it's really like you've learned not to like yourself because you've learned to view yourself through a framework that you just don't fit within. And that's the key to your karma. That's what I think you wanted to experience here is like you were very different than the people around you. Okay. Thanks, Jill. Okay, so now let's do the general messages. Let's do some generals. All right. Let's see. Whoa. Maria said, look into NLP for anyone struggling with this. It has helped me tremendously. NLP can be such a strong healing tool. Yes. Okay, so what's the general message, Spirit, that you want to bring through? Anything? Doesn't have to do with career. Doesn't have to do with anything that we're thinking that we might need to hear about. What do you want to tell us? What do you want to say? What do you want to bring forward? Okay, this is kind of a continuation, but I just read Emily's thing. She says, if we like ourselves, oh, the possibilities. But I just heard, if you like yourself, you're less easy to control, you know, because somebody benefits, maybe this father figure, or again, patriarchy. It's like that is the father figure, the state, the authorities, that hierarchical kind of system benefits when you try to measure yourself by their metric. Because then they can tell you that, think about what they do with women. Like, you're so ugly, you need to buy all this makeup, and you need to join this gym, and you got to do this many spa treatments. And if not, then you're just ugly as hell. And you know what? You have no value in society. We can't stand to look at you. And then women are like, oh my God, I have no inherent value. Here's my money, I guess. And it's like, well, now, like, maybe what would it be if we were all just ugly as sin in our 50s, rich as hell? What a life, like, what would that be? But you're less easy to control if you don't feel insecure. Maybe some of you need to start seeing that this father figure was supposed to have your best interest at heart, but it's like, you're easier to control if you feel insecure and if you're constantly trying to do the pull up. So yeah. And then it's the same thing with like your boss. It's just never good enough. The goalposts always move. Anyways, that was like a continuation for pile 3, but we're used to that here in the general messages at this point. Okay, so what is the message that wants to come through? We'd be some hot uglies. We'd be some rich ass, hot ass uglies. You heard about that WAP, that wet AP? What about some hot ass uglies? Man, you messing with some hot ass uglies. I'm sorry. This is getting out of hand. Okay. Sorry. I was lost in my own mind. All right. General messages. Oh, this air energy. Ugh. Okay. I have been picking up, and those of you on Patreon, I'm pretty sure this is coming out in the reading tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's group 2 for those of you that choose that. There's this like karmic couple energy that's been coming out. And I feel like somebody here has been like watching you. Somebody here is very angry. It looks like a masculine figure. And somebody here is very cold. And I always notice this like gargoyle looking thing, like very protective. Somebody here is like looking at you. They might want to ambush you or drawing your attention in some way. They could be watching you embrace your weirdness. This to me feels like, I don't know, Agent of the Matrix kind of thing, like rising up to try and hold you back from like your self-healing journey. So I don't know who this couple is, because this could be maybe people that you work for. Maybe they run a family-owned business. This could be your parents. This could be just a random couple in your community. I don't know, but like they've got an issue with you. And they're trying to hoard power. They're trying to hoard some kind of power. So for some of us, could be a boss. I don't know. But look, this is about you staying strong, and it's a mental fortitude, and it's an internal fortitude. Yeah. Look, there's magic here as well, because this is the cusp of magic. Okay, so why are you bringing up this couple spirit? Okay. They want you to go back and argue with them. Why are you bringing up this couple? Okay, we got the 10 of Cups and the Hierophant energy, and then the 3 of Swords. So I definitely think that they're trying to betray you, and they want you on the back foot. But that just could resonate with pile number 2. So why are you bringing them up? The Lovers? What? Somebody's trying to manipulate you. And it's like using love or friends or some kind of positive energy, but they just want to betray you. And there's a secretive energy, and there's like a friend group here. Okay. I'm bored with them. They keep coming through, and I feel like refer to pile number 2 if that needs to come out. I'm just going to give Spirit one more chance. Like, why are you bringing this up? They just think that you're juicy. They want to talk to you, but they have an agenda. They have an agenda. And it's a devil energy. I feel like refer to pile number 2. All right. Let's get a different deck. Okay. New energy. General messages. General messages. Wish fulfillment. Okay, so somebody here has their eye on you and you're their wish fulfillment, and I think that you make them feel kind of bashful, or they feel bashful. This person, they could have seen you like at a party or something like that. You make them feel, there's a secret crush. Okay, so somebody does have a secret crush on you. They have a secret crush on you. Who is it? It's a secret admirer. They watch you maybe at work or something. I don't know. I'm getting like a party energy, but I'm also getting it at work. They watch you when you're doing something is kind of what I'm getting. Like, because I'm seeing you like doing something and they watch you. They have so much love for you. They're watching you from afar. This person's watching you from afar. They don't feel like it's the right time to make their move yet because... Oh. Okay. There's like some kind of message. They want to offer you this Ace of Pentacles. Okay, they could have some kind of binding energy to something from their past, or for some, this has to do with a child. They have some kind of responsibilities here to a child, and they're just in some kind of defensive posture. They could be waiting on a message here, maybe about like money or a house or a new beginning or something like that. So they're trying to get that like figured out first, but they like to watch you. They want... Look at it. This person wants to offer you the ace of, they want to be your passionate new beginning. This is like sexual desire and love. So this feels like new energy. Any clue as to who this person is? Okay. They've just gone through a recent loss. This person's grieving. There was some kind of truth that came out. And then this person had to be alone. It could have been a third party situation. This person could have been cheated on or something, and then they had to be alone. And yeah, they're trying to get back up on their feet, I feel like. At least they close one door before opening a new one. Burn. Sick burn. We're not used to that, are we? On this channel. There is somebody that's kind of trying, that's like in and out with them, or trying to kind of pull on their attention. It might be a smegdual energy from their past. But yeah, they have some, yeah, but this person, they're not interested in this person. And it could be that this is the person they're waiting on some kind of message for, and this person keeps coming in and out, and not giving them like the full message of what they need. But it feels like it's a power play, like trying to hold on to their energy in some way. Because this person's looking for a new beginning. Yeah, they feel like this was a painful ending in the past, and they don't want to go back to whatever this was that they're... This person has a lot going on, though. And it's not bad. It just feels like life stuff. And they feel like they have to be strategic because they're traversing something that requires like them to pay attention to detail and like to have a strategy. Yeah, with the Queen of Pentacles. So for some, this is like a divorce energy. And it's like they know that they have to be careful. So they just don't have a lot of bandwidth right now. Yeah, because there's some kind of negative energy from their past, like a karmic energy from their past. And that they've seen clearly. And now they see you as their victory, as like their king or queen. They like your Saturnian energy. So like they like that maybe you're more like hardworking in something, like your routine, or yeah, this person really kind of puts you up on a pedestal. They could be trying to figure out if you're married. This person likes to secretly watch you. Look at this person's rosy little cheeks when they're watching you. But they also feel like very scared and defensive because of whatever it is that they just went through. So they kind of know that they need a little bit of time here as well. So I think for right now, this person's just enjoying watching you, trying to get their kids stabilized in some kind of way, or a child, or even like their inner child. And it feels like they're going through some kind of breakup. Yeah. They have to be very mental right now. Because this person might be trying to tug on their heartstrings or something, but they know that they need some kind of... They've made up their mind about something. and that they know they just kind of need to stay focused on whatever that is so that they can have the passionate new beginning that they want. And then they're going to work on being able to offer you something, I think. But they're worried if there's competition. They're also wondering if you're married. Or for some of you, they're still married, but they're like trying to go through a divorce. And so they're not wanting to come forward to you while they're technically still married, or they don't want like that drama or anything. So they're just kind of watching you. They're just trying to watch you from afar and like get the landscape is what it feels like. That's a special message for some of you. Yeah, I feel like this person could be going through some kind of mediation, but they're not trying to be swayed. You know what I'm saying? They're having to be very careful about a mediation process, like putting things in writing. No, I'm not having a conversation with you over here. We're going to talk about it in court in front of people where it's documented. No, I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I want things emailed or texted to me so that we have a record of it. You know, it's like they have to be in that kind of energy. But they're also, at the same time, they're not in mediation energy because it's not a conversation. They've made their mind up. They know, they've seen something here like very clearly. And I think it was some kind of karmic situation. Something was restricting them, holding them back. And somebody could have been negotiating with an ulterior motive. I think they feel like they might be dealing with someone who is trying to negotiate with them with an ulterior motive. So like I said, they're having to be very, very mental. And it's just taking a lot of, they're dealing with a trickster. Somebody here is dealing with a trickster, manipulating others through duplicity. But I think what they like about you is that you transcend convention and stuffiness and predictable behavior. This person may think that you're always doing something that surprises them, or like you always say something that like they didn't think you were going to say, or like it just catches them off guard or something. And this person just really likes it. They also, if they know you're spiritual, they like that you're spiritual. They think that you are just a special person. But this person there's this queen energy keeps coming out, and feel like they have an inability to defend themselves against negative forces, or perhaps a child here, because there's a queen energy that becomes very arrogant when their authority is challenged. They're very controlling and they're very demanding. And they feel like they're trying to climb up this mountain to get to you, basically, to be able to get to you. But they have to be liberated from their circumstances. So that's a very specific message for somebody out there. This gambler energy. They feel like they're trying to follow their intuition through this situation. Maybe they know that you're spiritual and that you have strong intuition, and this person's like, let me give that a try. Yeah. I feel like you might not know that this person is married, but I think they're going through a divorce. And I think this person would rather come to you and have the conversation of like, I just got divorced last year. It was a pain, but it's through, I live in this house, I have this job, I am stable in every way. Like it's a closed chapter kind of thing, rather than to be like, I'm going through this, like crazy divorce or something. I'm so proud of him, right? He has his ex involved, I think. Yeah. They want to be a King of Pentacles. This person really does. In a genuine way. So that's that. I think I'm going to leave that there with the general messages. There's that weird karmic couple. Maybe this person was a part of a weird karmic couple in the past. Doesn't have to be. But there's more that'll come out about that on Patreon tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's the tomorrow one. I think so. Okay. So the last thing that I'll say is that I sell candles here. It's a Nine Woods candle company, and we usually sell ritual candles, and we don't have any of those right now because we're relaunching them with, we've like bolstered and fortified like our spells and our process and everything like behind the scenes with that. But we do have our scented candles on sale, and, it's wintertime right now, so I don't know, like some of the good ones, I don't know if you want a bit of like that summertime vacation remembrance energy. We have a couple of like, Moonlit Beach is a good one, or like Hedge Witch is a very springtimey one. We've seen an uptick in those, which I think is actually very smart. But my favorite candle for this time of year, especially like after the holidays, is Midwinter Night. I've been burning Midwinter Night, and for some reason I feel like it elevates my mood. There's like a crisp, like minty smell, but that's the one where it's like very walking through a Scandinavian forest. And I know you guys know that I like my little Scandinavian moments. I like that kind of energy, or I don't know, especially wintry time. But yeah, that's a good one. Sugar plum's a good one. We're burning both of those right now. Sage Nick is still a really good one, even for after the holidays, I think. And even that evergreen kind of piney scent of the Christmas wreath, even though it's called Christmas wreath, it's still good for like all winter long. So if you are looking for that, also we just had the new year, and I think it's our all-time most popular like favorite scent is Fresh Start. So that one we launched with the Truth Beam. Ritual candle, we don't have the Truth Beam out right now because again we're rebolstering things, but if you want to do the Fresh Start candle to set like your intentions or, things like that, then now's a really good time of year to be able to do that. And that is a really clean, fresh scent, but it's somehow still warm at the same time. It does smell like warm laundry, but there is kind of like I don't know, it reminds me of cashmere a little bit, like a buttery, warm scent of cashmere or something. I don't know. Yeah. So probably does elevate. Colors and scents are super big influence. I'm a big scent person. I've always liked scents. Scents can, change my mood. And even like when we used to have to move a lot, into different apartments and things. And I used to say to Alex, like, I know I really like the changing of the seasons, but I don't want to have to lug a bunch of like decorations around with me. And that was like my big thing. It's just if I can get a candle for like every season, the scent aspect of that, it really does make me feel like I'm encased in like whatever the seasonality is. So if you like scented candles, ours come in an apothecary jar. I don't have one to show you like near me, but it comes in a apothecary jar. We use paper, which is very sustainable. You can take the paper label off for like a display purpose. I think it's really nice. And we use 100% soy wax. Here it is, 100% soy wax. And we use the cleanest scents that are available on the market. And I don't know what else to say about it. So I'm just going to do this really quick here. So see this, like the paper label comes off. You can rip it all the way off here. And then you just have this like very nice, elegant, clear jar that it really looks really, I think, elegant. And oh my gosh, this smells so good. This one is the Sage Nick. It smells so good. This one smells kind of like, if you do those pots, those simmer pots, that's what this smells like to me. Oh, like rosemary and just, it's good. It's really good. Anyways, if you wanted to get some of those, then you can do that on the interweb. And also Sugar Plum is really good. We have that one as well. I think I already said that. So that's what I have. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for spending some time with me on a Saturday. Thank you for everybody who gave super chats and who supports me on Patreon. We do have a Patreon video coming out tomorrow, and that one is the romance forecast of 2025. And then the one after that, we did the what's ahead for 2025. And if you have personal readings with me, I'm working through those now. Again, like I said, I had more people want them than I realized, and more people that wanted 2-question readings. So it's taking me a little longer to work through them than I anticipated, but I am doing that. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. And all right. Bye.